Hey folks, my name is Nina, I use they them, and welcome to the show where I talk about being non-binary and using language. You may be wondering, what do I mean when I say I'm non-binary? Well, I'm talking about gender. In this case, the binary is the system of dividing people into the categories of man or woman. I don't fit easily into these categories, so I'm non-binary. Non-binary can mean many different things, such as being both male and female, having a fluidity between the two, or being totally outside the binary. Sometimes non-binary overlaps with genderqueer, gender fluid, and agender. Some non-binary people are transgender. They may experience gender dysphoria and undergo a social or medical transition away from their gender assigned at birth. Sexuality can be confusing when you're non-binary. What do gay and straight even mean when you aren't a man or a woman? Different people have different answers. Personally, I know non-binary folks who are bisexual, pansexual, queer, lesbian, gay, asexual, and yes, even straight. Non-binary is not a term with a concrete definition. The idea is complex and constantly evolving. The meaning is specific to the individual and the time. If you want to say that men are from Mars and women are from Venus, then non-binary people claim the rest of the universe. You may also be wondering, what is linguistics? Linguistics is the study of language. Linguists look for patterns and structure, asking questions such as these. What exactly is language? What are its defining features? Where is the line between language and not language? How does language work on a mechanical level? How is language stored in the brain? What are the rules that govern language? How does language change over time? What did prehistoric languages sound like? How are languages related to each other? How do people use language as a social tool? How does language interact with race, gender, class, and other social categories? How are languages different from each other? What do all languages have in common? Now, let's apply gender to these questions. For example, do all languages have a gender binary? Well, many Indo-European languages have two grammatical genders, which correspond to male and female. But let's zoom out and look at the whole world. This is a map of a random sample of languages. The white dots represent languages that have no grammatical gender. The yellow dots are for those that have two grammatical genders, and the black dots have three or more. From this, we can see that binary categorization is not the only strategy that languages use to group things. Furthermore, many of these categories do not directly correspond to male and female. Other taxonomies are quite common, such as categorizing things based on whether they are animate or inanimate. So, now that you have an understanding of what non-binary and linguistics mean, you are ready to dive into the exciting field of non-binary linguistics. For each episode of this show, I will cover a topic that combines linguistics and non-binary identity. For this year, I have 4 topics that I want to cover. 1. How do non-binary people communicate their gender through their voice? 2. Why do people care so much about singular they? 3. What does being non-binary look like in different languages? 4. Why are there so many identity labels for non-binary people? Now, to answer the question that has been burning on everyone's minds, is non-binary spelled with or without a hyphen? Well, both forms are common, and I won't say that one is right over the other, but personally, I prefer without a hyphen. First, a practical reason. Often, commonly used words will lose their hyphens over time. This reduces the character count and makes the words faster to write. The words today, teenager, and online all used to have hyphens, but lost them over time for the sake of convenience. So, because I use the word non-binary all the time, it makes sense for me to drop the hyphen. Second, I like the feel of no hyphen better. The hyphen emphasizes the two separate roots, while no hyphen gives the word more cohesion. This cohesion makes the word feel more natural, more solid, and more real to me. I haven't tested this hypothesis in any way, but I think that no hyphen may subtly influence people to think that non-binary is a real word, therefore it's a real identity, and therefore non-binary people are, in fact, real. So for me, spelling non-binary without a hyphen is a way for me to affirm myself.